What's going on, everyone? It's your boy P2, Pastor Tan in the building. I want to welcome y'all to the first edition of BR Handoff, presented by Verizon. Each and every week, NFL player will be coming up here to be discussing storylines, best highlights throughout the week, and talk about players throughout the football game that's killing the game at this moment and making viral highlights. I got an exciting surprise for y'all at the end of the show, as I'll be welcoming the next guest on this BR Handoff show presented by Verizon. So let's get started. So let's talk about my boy JSN, who's killing it right now, who's at top of his game, one of the premier receivers in the league right now. I'm about to go over his film right now. He had a crazy highlight play against the Cardinals. Touchdown, deep shot. You know what I mean? Big play throughout the game. So let's take a look at it. From my perspective, from the defense, and also what I see throughout the offense on, how this play was able to work and operate. So obviously we got an under center look, under center formation. It looks like they're in 12 personnel. 12 personnel means one running back and two tight ends in the personnel. So just to give y'all a quick diagnosis of that. So, and what we see here between the running back and the QB, we see play pass. Play pass is like you faking the handoff to the running back off a play action set. So this is what you get here, play action read. And obviously what that allows you to do as an offense, it makes the defense crash on the run. And when the defense crash on the run, that allows empty voids throughout the pass game. So obviously you see right here, it looked like the defense it looked like a penny set here. So they got 5 down defensive players at the front. And obviously you got 2 linebackers and 4 defensive backs. And it looks like a quarter shell. So obviously they're going to give a quarter shell after the snap, but this safety is showing down like a cover 3 look. Then what he's going to do after is you're going to see the safety go into that quarter shell. So when I was mentioning before, off the play pass, you see everybody crashing for the run. And that allows the voids, as you see here, boom, off the boot. This is an easy read, but then going off of that, you see off a play pass, this safety off of quarters robs this boot here, robs this over. And now off of that, the quarterback reads this safety. This is the read, the safety. And he sees the safety rob down on the over. And as you see with JSN, he does a good job of stepping on his cornerback's toes. And as you see, he's stepping on his toes, creating, because you want to close the distance off the corner. As I could see from a fellow corner himself, I could definitely say we do not like the feeling of having our cushion get attacked. So what I see from a receiver is he attacks the corner's cushion. And not only he attacks his cushion, but he's creating space for him to sell, like he's running corner right here. But now off of that, as you could see, boom, he's selling corner with his head fake right here. Then off of that, he's going vertical. And as you can see, this creates this vertical distance for the quarterback to throw. And when you see that as a quarterback, all you're thinking about is how could I get this ball to the end zone furthest away from the nearest defender? And I think that's what Sam was trying to do here. Now, defensively, from what I've seen, is in quarters, it's basically a shell, right? So quarters is 4 up top, 3 underneath. So you got 3 underneath defenders and 4 defensive players in the back end. And what that does is eliminate everything over the top, but also it has some variables. So obviously in their defense, this backside safety is robbing the over. So now when you see that happen, obviously the safety and corner looking to kick for anything vertical. And what I see here is this safety, strong side safety, he's supposed to kick vertically and make this play over the top for this corner. But from what I'm seeing is a little hesitation from the safety here, and that's what allows the separation for JSN to score a touchdown here. So I'm going to go through the play here. And as you can see, the hesitation, now you see all this space vertically, and Sam Darnold has easy access to throw. I think what I would like to see from his safety here is for him to kick faster and not look at the quarterback and just meet him at the spot and beat JSN to the ball. And as you can see, that hesitation a little bit creates that void and allows JSN to create separation. And now the corner's left on the island. And you don't want to be in that position in quarters because, you know, you're expecting help deep. So, and that's what I see here. So even though as a corner, you know, they tell you as a corner in quarters coverage, you got anything vertical. So if you was to have a coach tell you what quarters mean as a corner, you got anything deep. So you got go and you got post. So I would like for this corner as well, too, to know that you got that responsibility to not allow him to attack your cushion and just beat him to the spot, run to the spot so he doesn't attack your upfield shoulder. So as you see, as JSN pushes vertical, now he's even. And as they say, if he's even, he's leaving. So that's what I see here. And now ball's in the air and you see that distance. JSN is, you know, on top of the corner, and now it makes it hard for a corner to make this play because now you got to play the ball, but also the receiver close that distance and now you're out of position. So I think it all goes towards this strong side safety here kicking to help this corner, but also corner got to know that if he's stemming you vertical, you should meet him at the spot already to not create that position. And now as you see, that's the void, and Sam Darnold has an easy throw to JSN for the touchdown. So obviously he's one of the more young and polished receivers that we've seen in this league week in and week out. He's making a name for himself, making big plays, making highlight plays. Because of this, obviously we got a lot of well-known receivers around the league as well. And leading on to that, I'm going to make a list and build a list based on my perfect receiver. You know, we got certain categories here, and I'm going to get into that. So we're going to start off with speed. It's a lot of fast guys in this league, but speed, I think it's pretty obvious. You got to go with Tyreek Hill. I mean, the guy is fast, and I went up against him. I mean, he's like a cheetah. He's like a rabbit. So just his ability to excel and decel at a fast rate, I think is ridiculous. Never seen anything like it, man. So I'll give it to Tyreek Hill. Hands. It's a lot of guys. But I think I'll give it to George Pickens. I think George Pickens has this year he's really set himself apart from others for sure with his hands. It seems like he's making every contested catch in the book. You know, obviously you see his one-hand catches, his 50-50 catches. I mean, the guy could just catch it at any rate, at any place. So I'll give it to George Pickens. Route running, that's a tough one as well, man. It's a lot of route runners in this league. But I think I'll give it to Justin Jefferson. I mean, I see the guy week in and week out making a certain fella DBs, you know, fall on their ankles, you know, this and that. So, it's hard out there to cover a guy like that that's able to stop on a dime and run, you know, efficient routes. So, shout out to Justin Jefferson there. Size, I'm going to go with DK Metcalf. I mean, the dude is a juggernaut. I mean, you don't see receivers quite built like that ever so often. So, the guy was built out of a lab, made out of a lab. So shout out DK. Releases, I'm going to have to give it to Devontae Adams. I think he's mastered his craft, his technique and releases. And, he's doing this thing out there in LA, still doing it. he's a vet that's been a veteran in his craft ever since. So I'll give releases to Devontae Adams. And there you have it. That is my perfect receiver that I'll go with. So shout out those guys doing their thing week in and week out. So we got a standout performance of the week. Shout out my boy Jonathan Taylor out there in Indy doing his thing, helping his team secure the win in Berlin, Germany against the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, obviously, as you can see here, boy had a hell of a game, man. 32 rush attempts, 244 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Those are some game numbers, Madden-like numbers. And from what I've seen here, it seemed like he was dominating the whole game, having his way. And he's having those type of years, man, those special years. And I think what makes him such a premier back in his league is his elusiveness, his ability to be a big play threat anytime he gets the ball. And another part about his game, I mean, obviously you see his breakaway speed, but people be like, man, it doesn't seem like he's running that fast. And I'm the first here to say it. I went up against him early this year, and the boy could run. The boy got some wheels, and I think he hit like 22 miles per hour consistently throughout his career. I mean, the boy's a baller, and I mean, I just think a guy like that should win MVP this year. But it's crazy to think that a guy like that with all those numbers, all those stats, I mean, doing his thing each and every year, he should be mentioned for MVP. But, obviously QBs have won the award, justifiably so. I think they deserve it. But I think Jonathan Taylor should be more of deserving for that award. I think he's showcased what he's able to do, helping his team win week in and week out. I mean, obviously you see the stats, 244 rushing yards. I mean, you don't see that at all. You don't see that quite often. And that explains his type of game, his type of pedigree. So I think Jonathan Taylor should be the favorite for MVP. That's my suggestion. That's my opinion. But like I said before, everybody got their opinions. It's a subjective award. So, but I think he's more than deserving of MVP as long as he keeps this run going, helping his team out. So, speaking of MVP, speaking of positions outside of QB, I think should be considered more for that MVP title. I mean, obviously from my perspective, winning Defensive Player of the Year, I think I was like the 7th cornerback to win that award. And obviously, you see each and every year, you see an edge rusher win it. And they deserve it. I mean, edge rushers are creating havoc, dominating the games each and every year. But at the same time, I think we should also give love to other positions as well, too. So, I mean, I know MVP, you talk about most valuable player. And obviously, first position that comes to mind is the quarterback position, rightfully so. I mean, franchises invest and advocate a lot into towards their QB. And, the QB wins the games, more times than none. So, but I would also like to see a change, man. We got a lot of special players at different positions that's making plays for their teams each and every week. And I would love to see a change. So hopefully we may see one this year. We may never know. But I would also like to mention, I don't want to give, not shout out any quarterbacks for that reason. Obviously, I think Drake May, he's having a hell of a year. A young guy out of New England doing his thing, helping his team win, secure dubs. He's doing his thing out there. Obviously, you got Mahomes doing his thing. Matthew Stafford, the vet, the guy. And, he's just out there making plays for his team. The accuracy, the pinpoint accuracy. Some of the throws that he make, the no-look throws, is amazing to watch, amazing to see. And I think he's definitely deserving of it as well. So I would love to see, though. I would love to see. It's going to be an interesting race. All those guys, they're winning, doing their thing for the team. So we'll see. But I think Jonathan Taylor is definitely my favorite for the MVP title as of right now. So we'll see how that goes. So speaking of my boy JT, man, now it's time for the Better Deal segment. Obviously, we got Sauce in Indy and Jaelan Phillips at Philly. Looking at it from both ways, man, I think it was key moves for both of them. So I don't really know which, move was better, but all I know is that it's beneficial for each of their teams because it was needs for their team. In this league, you're going to try to acquire the specific needs that you need to, achieve more and more wins and, get to that next ranking in the league. So I think it was big time moves on their part. Obviously, Sauce, he almost had his first pick with the team. My boy need to catch that though, dog. We need him. That would have been 6. Hell of a play, great recognition. That's the big time plays that he provide to help their team win games, as you can see. And my boy Jaelan Phillips out in Philly, he had a big time fumble last night towards the end of the game to help them boys secure the win. So obviously, as you could see, it was well worth it. Those players came in and made big time plays for them, for their respective teams. And, when you trade for players like that, that's what you expect. And obviously, the boys came through. So I think what I like most about their games, speaking of Sauce, is I think he's a technician. I think, he has all the traits. Obviously, he's a taller corner. He's long, lengthy, got great IQ. And, he knows how to use his hands at the line of scrimmage and throw receivers timing off. I like to watch his film a lot. I watch a lot of his film just from a technical standpoint. He's one of the best doing it in the game right now. And Jaelan Phillips, I think he's a game wrecker. Each and every week when you cut on the tape, he's making some type of play, whether it's a sack, strip sack, tackle for loss, a fumble. He's doing everything in his will to, help his team out. So I think both of those boys are ballers, and they're going to continue to make plays for their new teams. Moving on, speaking of defenses, speaking of special plays, special players, I got something to talk about that I like to share with y'all, and it's coming from my own. Shout out to my boys, man. The Denver Broncos defense. We doing our thing this year. I could go over the stat line. We allowed 188 yards, 3.2 yards per play, 6 sacks, and 7 points allowed in the win versus the Las Vegas Raiders. When you speak about it, man, I think what we've able to do so far this year, what we've been able to do so far this year, I think it's pretty exceptional. It's amazing to watch. And looking at it from a different perspective now, since your boy is out with a little injury, I'll be back in no time, by the way. Looking forward to getting back out there with them boys. But from looking through my lenses, as I was watching through the sidelines throughout that game, man, I just seen pure dominance from not only the front seven, but the secondary as well, too. I think we held them under 200 yards passing. I think they only had like 100 and plus yards passing, which is exceptionally good. And we was getting after it, man. We had, I think, 2 turnovers as well, too. So to add on to the stat sheet, I think, we set in our names in the record books for sure. I think I mentioned, early on in training camp that we have an opportunity to be mentioned as one of the all-time great defenses. And right now we have an opportunity to break the record for the most sacks in a single season. Shout out my guys up front, Benito, who's having a hell of a year. Defensive player of the year, we'll see. We know he got my vote. Jonathan Cooper, Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers, DJ Jones, Malcolm Roach. Shout out those guys up front, creating havoc on opposing offensive linemen and opposing quarterbacks. And shout out Alex Singleton, Justin Stranad, Dre Greenlaw for making things happen. They got the green dot. They call the plays. So obviously the secondary, man. Shout out Riley. Shout out Huff, who's having a hell of a year. Brandon Jones, Jaquan McMillan, all those guys, Jade Barron. They've been playing exceptional. And it's a pleasure to go out there each and every week and put on the show with them boys. So it's great. And it says, like everybody says, rightfully so, we're the best in the league. And I think so. I just think with the work that we put in each and every week, we hold ourselves to a high standard. When a team gets in the end zone, which is rare, we often get so mad because, we expect greatness out of one of another. And, we always say if they get there, it's either field goals or no points at all. So that's the standard we hold ourselves to. And I know my boy JK, who's doing our thing, JK Dobbins, who's doing his thing. He mentioned as well, giving his shout out to us, to the defense, making our plays. But, I just think it goes both ways. Defense, we expect, to go out there and capitalize, on what we're given. So, JK, he's having a hell of a year. And defense, I think we hold ourselves to that high standard and towards no matter, what the team may throw at us, we're going to handle up and do what we do. So shout out to the Broncos defense, man. Shout out to, to everybody, that's been doing their thing, starting up front to the linebackers and to the secondary. So it's pretty exceptional to be a part of, and from my lenses now to watch, and it's been a pleasure as well. So moving on, speaking of my Broncos, you see we lead the AFC West. The entire AFC is wide open, as you can see. You got us, the Patriots, the Colts. Who else we got? The Chiefs making their rounds through. Obviously, the Chiefs, we could talk about them. The Steelers, Chargers, everybody. It seemed like everything is up in the air. And I feel like in this stretch through November and December, we're going to see teams separate. And, it's a pretty tight race, man. For me, looking at it, it's very exciting, because there's a lot of competitive teams out there in our conference. And, in order to sustain that, we got to continue to win games, continue to be excellent, and continue to control our own destiny. And with that, obviously, we got a tough challenge with a division foe in the Chiefs this week. Looking forward to that one. And, big time games, big time players got to step up in big time moments. So, that'd be crucial games. And obviously, this week, we got a lot of good big time games. I know there's the Seahawks and the Rams. I know they're both the top of their division as well, too. And the Lions and Eagles Sunday night. So, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be very exciting. A great week of eventful football. And and there's an interesting look at this. It looks pretty similar to how it did in 2007 with the Patriots, Broncos, and Colts leading their respective divisions. It's kind of nostalgic as well, too, to see it. But speaking of these teams, we got a little segment going on. I'm going to guess which wideout led each of the top AFC teams now in 2007 in receiving yards. So we're bringing it back sometime. I'm going to have to go on my memory card here to remember. But let's start off with the Patriots. 2007 receiving yard team leader. Who was, if I'm familiar, I think it's Randy Moss. I'm going to have to go with Randy Moss. Am I right? Admin? I'm right? All right, bet. Randy Moss. Obviously, as you can see, 1,400 yards. That's a great year. Randy Moss, all-time GOAT, all-time great at his position. So shout out Randy. So moving on with the Colts, there's two familiar names that come to mind, Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. But if I have to take a guess, I'll go with Reggie Wayne. Obviously another prolific receiver. As you can see, got that right. 1,500 receiving yards. Shout out to that boy, making plays. And right now, he is a receivers coach, I believe, for the Colts as we speak. So that I know that boy is giving tons of games to the receivers. Shout out to them boys. So moving on, we got the Chargers. Shoot. Let me think. Can I get a hit, admin? I need a little hint here. Okay, as I thought, I'm gonna say Antonio Gates as I see Hall of Fame tight end, definitely Antonio Gates. Am I right? Let's do it. 984 yards. Shout out to that boy, AG, Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats at his position, deservedly so. So, Antonio Gates. And last but not least, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh, 2007. Let me think. Let me take it back some time. 2007. I'm going to take a guess, and I think I'm right, but I'm going to go with Hines Ward. No? 2007. It wasn't AB. Santonio Holmes. Santonio Holmes. That came in clutch. I remember that catch in the Super Bowl against the Cardinals. One of the best catches you'll see in his lifetime. Shout out that boy, Santonio Holmes. Another legend. So there you have it. All-time receiving yard team leaders in 2007. So shout out them boys. That's going to do it for me. Now I'm going to hand it off to the surprising guest, the next host of this episode, Nick Bolton, for next week's episode of BR Handoff. Each week, the host will ask the next host a question. So my question to Nick is, what is your pregame routine? What does that look like? Like, who's your favorite artist you like to listen to before the game? Do you have a pregame meal, etc.? I would like to know that answer, my dog. Obviously, you're a baller, doing your thing in Kansas City. Shout out to you. Can't wait to hear that answer. And that's it for me. This is BR Handoff, presented by Verizon. Peace.